What is up, you guys? I just destroyed back in the gym today. And in this video, I just want to tell you guys why I decided to start making homemade mass gainer shakes. Now, I used to do the mass gainer shakes that you can just buy in the powders. You can get it from like Amazon, GNC, whatever. And I did it for years. I used multiple different brands. And I pretty much got very similar results using all of these different brands for mass gaining. Now, the reason why I decided to switch from the mass gainer powders to making homemade mass gainer shakes is because basically two reasons. One, my favorite mass gainer powder at the time, which had the best like macronutrient combination, was they're gonna stop making it. They were gonna stop making it. So I decided, okay, I needed to find a replacement. Well, it was like the best macronutrient blend that I had found at the time, and it was it was priced very competitively. So basically the next closest option was not as good, and it was significantly more expensive per serving. So I was like, all right, well, I don't really like that. So what I decided to do was I looked at the macronutrients that were in it, and knowing or looking at the macronutrient ratios, I figured, okay, we all know that whole food is always better than a supplement. So what I decided to do is let me just figure out a maybe a replacement for this until I could find something better. Turns out I did find a replacement, and it was significantly better to the point where I never went back. So in addition to the one thing that I mentioned, which was they discontinued the mass gainer shake that I really liked, but the second thing was, once I created my mass gainer shake at home, I realized that I wasn't getting, I wasn't putting on the bloat and the fat that I was putting on when I was using the different powders, the mass gainer powders. So I was like, yo, man, I think I'm onto something. Now, the one thing that does suck is it takes a lot longer. My girl's calling me in the middle of my video. Jeez. The one thing that does suck is that it does take a little bit longer to make a homemade protein shake or a homemade mass gainer shake, but the benefits definitely outweigh the cons. So basically, I'm gonna just give you a real quick rundown on how I do this. It's real simple. Let me just show you. All right, so this, see that? This is the Smucker's All Natural Creamy Peanut Butter. You can see the nutritional facts on the back. Of course, I'm using a reverse camera, so everything's flipped. But what I will tell you is this. One serving size is 2 tablespoons. That's 190 calories. And it's got 16 grams of fat and, 16 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs. Of the 7, 3 are fiber, so it's really net 4 carbs. Protein is 8. Now, here's the thing. That's one serving size, which is 2 tablespoons. The cool thing about this, now let me show you one other thing. Hang on a second. Here are my oats. All right. So I put the oats in this container just so I can easily pour them out. And I use my food scale. Check out my Grey Goose bottle. Isn't that nice? Yeah, check that out for the channel. Yes, he does take shots and turn up every now and then. But check out my food scale. This is exactly how I measure all of the foods that I'm eating. I use my food scale so I know exactly what I'm consuming from every ingredient, right? So let me show you something else. All right, so really quick, guys. Right now I'm using these two protein powders, and I'll tell you exactly why. So one, I use the Zent because it's a collagen protein powder, and it's really good for your joints. I'll drop a link in the description below in case you want to check it out. I'll be honest with you, I had some pretty bad knee issues when squatting very heavy. I used to have to wrap my knees, and I haven't had to do that in the last couple of years. Thanks to this product, it was a direct result of me having better knees right now. Next, I'm using this organic protein powder. It's plant-based protein powder. I'll be honest with you, definitely not the best tasting, but it's a superior protein, in my opinion, just in terms of the health benefits and so forth. In this one, you're going to get 150 calories. One serving size is 2 scoops. We're looking at 4 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs, but 5 of those 15 are fiber, so it's net 10. And then protein is 21 grams per 2 scoops. So anyway, here is literally my oatmeal plus the protein powder. It looks like a big glob of mess. So here's my oatmeal, plus the peanut butter scoop, couple scoops of protein powder. Down here, you have a banana. So literally, I would just grab some bananas and I would chop like one in half. Maybe I'll use a third. And here, you know, inside this microwave is exactly where I put my how I cook my oats. So a lot of people, when they make protein shakes and they put oats in it, they put the oats in raw. Now, the problem with that is there's like some anti-enzymes that are on oats that if you eat it raw, it kind of messes up your stomach a little bit. So I realized that when I was doing it raw. One day I decided to just cook the oats. And so that's why I started cooking it in the microwave. I just, you know, pour some raw oats in the bowl, put a little bit of water in it, and then I pop it in the microwave for, you know, 3-4 minutes. And if I want to drink the shake right away, obviously the oats are going to be super duper hot. So I throw a couple of ice cubes in there, blend it up, and it's perfect, ready to go. Now, really quick, because I really wanted to make this video incredibly short, what I really like about the homemade mass builder shakes is that you have 100% control over the macronutrients that are going into your shake. And so this is exactly why I choose protein powders that have minimal carbs in it. I don't want all this extra creatine and all this other stuff. And the reason why is because when you choose protein powders that are simple, you have way more control over what you're consuming. So like some protein powders, they'll put like, you know, extra carbs in it, you know, oh, they'll say something like, oh, these are complex carbs. And even the complex carbs that they claim that are in some of these protein powders, it's really just like a multi-chain sugar at the end of the day. So it's semi-complex, but not really as complex as, say, oatmeal. Oats are actual food. And so, you know, compared to the sugar-based carbs that they put in the mass gainer powders for the most part, right? Maybe there's a mass gainer powder out there that they're not putting sugars in, but I haven't found it yet. So anyway, long story short, I've been making shakes just like this, the way I'm explaining it, using the oats. So using the oats, so I've been making my shakes the same way for so many years now. And it's so simple. All you do is get your peanut butter, need some bananas, oats. You don't need 2 protein powders like I'm doing it, but you know, I mean, this is what I'm doing, so I just wanted you to know. And ultimately I'm blending it up, and with water. I don't use milk because milk is extra sugar. Extra sugar is just, you know, more likely that you're gonna get fat off of that. So you know, so really, normally when I make these shakes, the macronutrients end up breaking down to like something like about somewhere between 800 and 900 calories, about 60 grams of protein, about 100 grams of carbs, you know, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'll do another video where I show you exactly how I make the mass gainer shake. But in this video, I just wanted to tell you why I don't use the mass gainer powders like I used to, and the benefits that I've observed by making a homemade mass gainer shake. Now, one downside to this is it does take longer to prepare, obviously, than like a powder-based mass gainer. I personally think that the benefits outweigh the cons in terms of time. And so what I do is whenever I make a mass gainer shake, I just make 3 of them at once. And so that way I don't have to waste time like cleaning the blender 3 different times and, you know, cleaning the bowl that I put the oats in and all that stuff. So just a little bit of time saving strategy there. So I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Go ahead and smash the like button if you liked it. Consider subscribing. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.